Hello and welcome to a new episode of Around the World in 7 Days. My name is Neel. China's diplomatic prowess is well known and it has proved this prowess on multiple occasions. And as a result, it has become the main rival of America, leaving behind Russia. The situation has changed to an extent that the America is struggling to maintain its stature of a so-called global leader, while China is incessantly bustling to raise its stake as the next global leader. Recently, the dragon has again compelled the world to turn its attention towards it. Actually, a few days back, Iran and Saudi Arabia announced their decision to restore their diplomatic relations. As you are very well aware that both these West Asian countries were bitter enemies. And yes, you heard it right, they were enemies because the term rivalry will fall short of describing the extent of bitterness in their relationship. But now it is anticipated that the recent agreement between these two countries can serve as a bridge in the Persian Gulf, a bridge of friendship. What was the reason of animosity between them? How did this deal happen? We have already discussed this in detail in our previous episode. To understand the background of this agreement, watch our previous episode by clicking on the link given in the description. By the way, what is worth noting in this entire event is the role of China in brokering the deal. In fact, China is believed to have played a major role in making both these countries sit on the negotiation table. So, the pertinent question that arises is, why did China do this? What are its interests that it wants to pursue? And above all, the biggest question is, has China given a message to the world that it is on its way to becoming a global leader? Questions are many, so let's try to find answer to these questions one by one. America is considered to have significant influence in West Asia, especially in Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates and Qatar. In this too, it has the highest dominance in Saudi Arabia. Since Saudi considers itself as the biggest leader of Islamic world, it automatically translates into a strong American influence in the entire region. But now China is making a dent on this dominance. Its engagement with Islamic countries has increased lately, and it is the result of this increasing diplomatic engagement that these countries have kept mum on the issue of human rights violation of Uyghur Muslims in China. These countries have their own interests in being silent on the issue. Therefore, the latest event of increasing camaraderie between Iran and Saudi Arabia is being seen as an attempt by China to reduce American dominance in this region. Apart from this, it is also a reality that China is also giving priority to its economic interests. We can understand this by drawing a link with Iran. Actually, in the year 2020, China and Iran signed a comprehensive strategic agreement. All factors related to security and economy were included under the ambit of this agreement. As a matter of fact, till now Iran's energy reserves have not been exploited to their potential. That is why China wants to invest in these reserves. The Iranian foreign minister visited China in January 2022 for the same purpose. Significantly, China alone accounts for about 30% of Iran's total international trade. Apart from this, China is also increasing its defense and strategic coordination with the Gulf countries, and many media reports have testified the same. If reports are to be believed, Saudi Arabia is tying up with China to manufacture its own ballistic missiles, and UAE has allowed China to secretly build a military base at one of its ports. Earlier, countries like UAE and Saudi Arabia have also bought armed drones from China. Thus, China's presence in the defense sector in this area is also clearly visible. On several occasions, America has also expressed its concerns about this. But beyond all this, the most frightening thing for America is the growing presence of China in Israel, America's most trusted ally in the region. In fact, in recent years, Chinese companies have got the contracts for developing Israeli ports and building infrastructure like Israeli Metro or Tel Aviv Light Rail as they call it. Most of these projects are related to the Belt and Road Initiative. In addition, China has also set up two recruitment centers in Israel to take advantage of Israeli talents. Not just Saudi Arabia, Iran, or Israel, China has even made deep inroads in Latin America, that is, in the Americas' immediate neighborhood. In fact, since the year 2000, China's role in this region of Latin America has increased rapidly. Here, Chinese companies are major investors in the energy, infrastructure, and space industries. The gravity of the situation can be gauged from the fact here that China has become the biggest trading partner, leaving behind the USA. In Latin America, China has never failed to grab any opportunity that has come to its disposal. For example, the US government had banned all commercial arms sales to Venezuela in 2006, and China took this as an opportunity. The result was that Venezuela became the largest buyer of Chinese military goods in Latin America. According to experts, between the year 2009 and 19, China had sold weapons worth more than $615 million to Venezuela. Apart from this, China has also expanded its diplomatic, cultural, and military presence in the region. China's policy in the African region is also an open secret. When China launched its Belt and Road Initiative in 2013, Africa was one of the first regions to receive Chinese loans or investments. Here, between 2000 and 2020, Chinese state-backed lenders disbursed around $160 billion in loans. Although Africa has economic importance for China, but its political significance exceeds way more than its economic importance. Actually, African countries vote as a bloc in many international institutions such as the United Nations, and China wants these votes in its favor if and when the need arises. In 2017, China built its first overseas military base in Djibouti. Since then, it has continuously increased its military presence in the region. This was also seen few weeks ago when China, along with Russia and South Africa, conducted a joint military exercise in the region. In this way, China's influence on the political, economic, and social ecosystem of the whole world is clearly visible. For decades, the Western world has been leading the global governance system. But now, under the leadership of Xi Jinping, China is posing a tough challenge to this system. China, the world's second largest economy, has presented a challenge to the established political system of the world, and this challenge is very vividly visible in the West Asia. Overall, the American hegemony is being challenged by China in various parts of the world, and in many areas it has gained successes also. But what shape will the global politics take in future? Whom will it benefit and who will be at loss? These are the questions whose answers are very difficult to ascertain as of now. So that's all in today's episode. Let's note down today's question. China is on its way to becoming an alternative to America in global politics. Elaborate. That's all in this episode of Around the World in 7 Days. See you in next one. Till then, goodbye.